Hello everyone and welcome to the October edition of Price Know-How Snippets. My name is Katherine White. I'm Commercial Director for our Polymers division here at Plastribution. And with me, as usual, is my Managing Director, Mike Boswell, and Ian Chisnell, who heads our Polyolefins and Sustainability division. As usual, Mike's going to start us off by talking about some of the fundamentals that are affecting monomer and polymer prices before Ian will talk to us about things that are affecting the marketplace. So we'll start off with you, Mike.
Thank you, Katherine. So on the crude oil situation, September was really a situation of higher lows, higher highs and higher averages. The average price in September per barrel was $92.01. That was up from 85.1 in August, an increase of $6.9 per barrel. The minimum in September was 86.86, up from 83.20 in August, an increase of 3.66. And the maximum went to 94.43 in September. That was an increase of $6.88 compared to the 87.55 price back in August. And as we know, many people are talking about the $100 a barrel being breached again in the near future. Perhaps the best way to look at it in terms of polymer prices is to think about that in price of pounds per tonne. And we actually saw an increase from September to 55.04 from the August price of 504.68, with the price of a tonne of crude oil now lying just short of £560 a tonne. In terms of exchange rates, the pound was pretty stable against the euro, and the real story was one of dollar strength. So we saw the pound against the euro remaining 116. Against the dollar in August were 127, it fell to 124, and for the euro it fell from 109 against the dollar to 107. That's roughly a strength in the dollar of 2.5%. So that's also an influence on those oil prices. So Ian, talk us through monomers and what that may mean for polymers, please.
Many thanks, Mike. So the oil pricing that Mike's just spoken about had a direct influence on naphtha, which has had a direct influence on the monomers. So ethylene C2 rose by 65 euros a tonne to 1,260 euros, and propylene C3 rose by 60 euros to 1,120 euros a tonne. In terms of how that's going to impact on polymer pricing, you're going to see at least those. But it's going to vary from grade and product as to whether or not you're going to see a premium beyond the monomer. Polypropylene still reasonably well available. Demand's still not great in certain sectors, so we're probably likely to see just the 60, although I think some will chance their arm with an increase slightly beyond 60 euros in October. On polyethylene, it varies. So on LDPE, that's actually quite tight at the moment. We're seeing a lot of demand. We're seeing restricted availability. So you're looking at a triple-digit increase, at least 100, probably 120 euro a tonne increase on LDPE in October. With regards to LLDPE, probably somewhere in between the monomer and 100 euros, depending on availability of individual suppliers. So we're seeing some who've got slight tightness, some who don't. So you'll see some variability within that. On HDPE, probably somewhere in the region of 65 to 80 euros a tonne. Again, depending on the very specific circumstances of that supplier as to whether or not they have a lot of availability or whether they're a little bit in sell mode. A lot of sort of suggestions that this might be the peak, and we will probably see prices similar to this, maybe a slight increase in November, depending on how the oil price goes. As Mike said, $100 a barrel has been spoken about, so that's going to impact monomers, and that's going to be another push from producers for another slight increase in November. But we may not see further increases beyond that because of seasonality. So I think be a push for some strong increases. But please keep talking to us. Obviously, myself, your account manager, and we'll do our best to keep you informed with what's going on as the month progresses.
Thanks very much, Ian. Further information will be published middle of the month when we do our full Price Know-How edition. But in the meantime, as Ian says, if we can give you any further information, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Katherine. Thanks, everybody.